Maybe it won't be so bright. All right. Gonna give it a minute before I get started. All right, we got one. Who do we got? Number 2. We got 3 in here. Who do we have? Two. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. In this video, guys, I really just wanted to do some turkey talking. Want to talk turkey. If anybody in here is interested in hunting public land, hunting out of state, really, I wrote this article a while back when I used to have quite a bit of free time. And with this, I really just wanted to share what my tips and what my steps have been to lead me to be so successful with hunting out of state. Now, I'm not here trying to brag. I'm just stating the facts of what I do and how I've found success in hunting out of state. So if you guys don't know, I'm from Indiana. I live in southeastern Indiana, down by the Ohio River, by Kentucky and Ohio. Texas Outdoors, hey, what's up? So number one, my first step in being successful in hunting out of state is planning. And that sounds obvious, but you need to plan and develop a game plan months and months in advance. And one thing that I do is I decide what kind of turkeys do I want to hunt, and then potentially what states do I want to hunt. So before I can even get started, I need to know when those seasons open up, et cetera, et cetera. And from there, you need to learn the hunting regulations for each of those states that you choose to go to. So for me, last year, as an example, I made the plan to go to Oklahoma, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Arkansas, and then my home state of Indiana. And I developed an itinerary. I created my plan listing, when those season dates were in, when I planned on being there, and basically what I would do if I got turkeys in those states, or if I was unsuccessful, where would I go next? What's up, Coffee? Thanks, man. 2 thumbs up and 3 people in here. Thank you, guys. So last year, I ended up hunting in each of those states with the exception, excuse me, of Arkansas. I did not hunt in Arkansas last year, even though I was tagged out by Wednesday. I took an entire week off, was able to harvest one bird Saturday, one bird Sunday. I think ended up getting like 2 Monday, maybe, and then 2 on Wednesday before I headed home. What's up, Big John? Thanks, man. But I chose to come home rather than go to another state just because I missed my family. I was ready to get off the road and stop living in a hotel and in my car. So I came home Wednesday and I was home Wednesday night. Jim Timber, what's up? You have a good weekend too, man. Thank you. All right, number 2, this is probably the biggest one. What does that say? Tom Keatley, West Virginia. Are you, Tom, were you the guy that I talked to earlier on YouTube? can't remember your channel name, West Virginia Hunter or West Virginia Outdoors 17, something like that, maybe. Give him a second to respond. But number 2 for me is probably the biggest step. Nope, not you. Oh, sorry about that. Do you have a YouTube channel, Tom? Take time to extensively scout. What do I mean by scout when you're hundreds of miles away from the state that you're potentially hunting? Google Earth, Google Maps, it has been a great tool for me. I spend more time in front of a computer looking at maps than I do hunting by several hours. For example, Oklahoma, I spent 2 days in Oklahoma over the course of a weekend. I took 2 days off work. One was for traveling there. The other was to travel home. Got some comments. One was to travel home in case I needed to stay and hunt on Sunday. So Saturday, when I got there, the properties that I looked at, I was able to find turkeys on those properties. And, I spent the entire day hunting, but more or less I was scouting that whole first day. And that tends to be the case whenever I'm hunting out of state. So Sunday morning, I believe it was, Saturday morning, I woke up. I had 4 or 5 different properties out in southwest Oklahoma that I was looking to hunt. And I had located some birds, but the problem was they were far, far on the public land side, the private land side of the public land tracts that I was hunting. So I just wasn't able to work those birds, or there were, private land hunters, the private land owners, they were out there hunting. It was opening day, it's always busy on opening day. And spoke to some of the locals, and I met the people that hunted those properties in several cases. I ended up moving on from that property early Saturday morning. Friday evening, Saturday morning, is when I was out there. And, I made the decision to drive 2 hours north. So I was still in western Oklahoma. But that move made the difference. Without making that move and trying a new property, I never would have found the property that is a hidden gem and had dozens of birds. I spent the whole first day watching these birds. I knew right where they were roosting. I knew what their pattern was based off of, one day. And the next morning I was able to get on them and knock down 2 really, really nice longbeards. And that video is actually on my channel. It's one of probably the first 10 videos that I did. So whenever you're looking to hunt somewhere like, let's say, Oklahoma, for example, that's a 15-hour drive for me where I was hunting. I spent countless hours in front of my computer looking at Google Earth images and maps of the terrain. Anybody who's been to Texas, like Big John in here, you live in East Texas. The country is not super hilly. It's pretty flat, rolling hills. I would kind of describe it as maybe a desert type country compared to where we're from here in Indiana. A lot of sagebrush and, short trees, stuff like that. Nothing huge like what we have here. And, when you look at a map, finding trees usually can be easy, but out west, it's rather difficult trying to distinguish what's a giant bush versus a hardwood tree that they might roost in. So that first day that I was scouting in Oklahoma, really, I was just looking for a place that had mature hardwood trees, something that the birds would like to roost in. And that's how I found that property later on. So spending time in front of the computer, finding the terrain that might work for you, it's the best first step that you can take. I don't know how you're supposed to scout when you're, let's say, 500 miles from where you're going to hunt. It's pretty hard. So whenever you are looking at the maps and you're there in person, study the land. You need to try and find the birds. If you can't find the birds, it makes it that much more difficult to hunt them, really. Get a little warm. All right, number 3. This kind of ties into number 2. Hidden gems of public land. A good example of this was my first ever trip to the Black Hills of South Dakota. You have millions of acres of public land at your disposal. You can go on any of these tracks. You don't have to check in. You buy your tags, you show up during season, and you can go hunt. And a lot of people's first idea, got my dog here. A lot of people's first idea is to look for large tracts of land, and I'm guilty of that as well. You think the more land that you have available to you, the higher the potential for finding turkeys. East Texas, yeah, I think you and I have talked about that. There's a lot more trees in East Texas. But where I was at in Southwest Oklahoma, there were no trees except for down by the river. So hidden gems, I used to look for large tracts to try and find more turkeys. And what I found was when I killed my first ever turkey in South Dakota in the Black Hills, I was on about 5.5 acres, one little tract of land, 5.5 acres. It was surrounded by, thousands of acres of public land and hundreds of acres of private ground. And that small tract of public land had more birds on it than any of the other places that I had scouted over the course of a day and a half. What's up, Tomal? My dog, Jim, he's his mom was a chocolate lab, but he's black. I don't know what he is. He's kind of a mutt, but he's a lab mix mutt. He kind of has German Shepherd markings, actually. We got 10 people in here. That's awesome, guys. Migratory Game, what's up? Glad I met you last night on Big John's stream. And one point that I wanted to make when I wrote out this little article, the turkeys, deer, whatever game you're pursuing, they don't care how much of the land is actually public or private. They're just looking for a secluded place to get away from humans. And that was what worked for that 5.5 acre tract that I found in the Black Hills of South Dakota. It was a nice little pocket of land that was next to a highway, but it was also secluded. It was kind of high up on a ridge, and no houses in the vicinity really. The houses that were close by were, down over the hill, and they didn't seem to bother the turkeys that much. But the animals do not care how much land is there. They're just looking for a place to be free from human activity. Patience. Number 4, my fourth step is patience. Another one that might seem obvious to a lot of us hunters. I struggle with patience. That's why I'm not a great deer hunter. I don't like to sit still. I like to be up and moving. I think that's what translates into me being more of a turkey hunter anyways, is the fact that when I'm turkey hunting, if I don't like a setup, I'll get up and I'll move. Or if I'm hunting out of state, I can walk back to my truck, drive wherever I want to go. You too, Big John? Yeah. One thing I put in here is like many turkey hunters, I'm aggressive with my approach, especially when I'm hunting private land here in Indiana. I've been busted on more occasions than I'd like to mention, simply because I didn't have the patience to sit still, wait for a bird to get, a little worked up and anxious to find me, his girlfriend, so to speak, as I'm calling to him. Yeah, coffee. Trapping definitely does help with the patience. Anybody who hunts, you know that you have your slow days and you have your days that are just lit, as the kids would say. Migratory Game, you're a waterfowl hunter. I'm sure you guys have had those days where you're in the blind, you're in the duck blind, and some days from sunrise till you stop hunting, it's awesome. And other days you probably might not even see a bird. I don't know. I've never duck hunted, but a lot of ducks up here. I don't know. Where I'm at, we don't have a whole lot of water for birds. I don't see too many ducks. See some geese from time to time, but Carter Taxidermy Outdoors. What is going on? With patience and turkey hunting, for anybody who's maybe newer to turkey hunting, or maybe you never turkey hunted and you're interested, when you're new to turkey hunting, I would definitely suggest that you try and sit still, sit in one spot, do some light calling, and just wait. If you feel confident that there are birds in the area, just sit back, relax, try and hold still, but keep your eyes moving. Yeah, coffee up where you're at. There definitely are some birds. Yeah, that's true. Migratory game. You guys can talk. Like I said, I've never duck hunted. I've watched some videos, Duck Dynasty, um, some of their like actual hunting videos I've watched from way back in the day. Ton of geese. Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. There's definitely a ton of geese. Yeah. Coffee. Yeah. We hunted. Was it just the one time that we went out to, what was it? Zach's place and hunted. I can't remember. That's been a long time ago. Yeah, I think it was Cody that it was. I think it was Cody that we had behind the gun that day. You and Cody. Yeah, Z's place. Turkey hunting is like elk hunting. I would love to elk hunt someday. I'd love to get out and do that. Yeah, Cody. All right, so a good example of patience. Opening day 2017 here in Indiana. I uh, I was out hunting Bloomington. If you guys have seen some of my older videos when I first started, about a year ago, one of my first videos, I took a brand new turkey hunter to a property in Bloomington, Indiana, Monroe County, and we were able to harvest a bird on that property. And that's actually the property that I'm talking about in this example. Kyprios, probably not. I haven't even talked to him about it. Uh, Nothing against Kyprios, he's a good dude, but I'm gonna probably be hunting with a guy from work in Florida. I don't have any plans in place yet, so I'm kind of going against my own rules, and I'll touch on that here in just a moment. But opening day 2017 here in Indiana, I went to my normal turkey hunting spot in Bloomington, and I walked all the ridges, checked all the usual spots where in the past I found turkeys and seen turkeys. Tomal, you got a place to go? I'd be down for that. I'd love to get with you and coffee at some point. I, Last year I was pretty swamped with time. I went to several states, but what's up, dog? Just my dog. Can't remember who it was who asked, but so that day I checked all the usual spots, right? And I was starting to get frustrated. It was my phone died. My old phone, it was a piece of junk and it was needing replaced anyways. But it died and I had no way of charging it because the charging port on it actually, the female part, where you plug in your phone, it stopped working. So I couldn't charge my phone. I had no way of reaching out to anybody or really knowing what time it was. My approximation was it was about 2:30 in the afternoon. And I was getting frustrated, being an aggressive turkey hunter and moving around a lot, spot to spot to spot, trying to find, get a bird and maybe get one to shot gobble or something in the afternoon. I've had a lot of success with that. And this particular day, I was really frustrated. It was hot. So I sat down in the shade under a tree, and I forced myself to sit down for 10 or 15 minutes. And after 10 or 15 minutes, I decided to pull out slate call. I had been using a diaphragm call. It was a good time to relax, get a drink of water, catch my breath from all the walking, and try a different call. And literally, I had that slate call in my left hand. I used my right hand to strike. I let out a couple of yelps. Yep, 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 yep. 60 yards away on the exact same hillside that I'm on, a turkey gobbled. 60 yards away from me on the exact same hillside that I'm on. Now, imagine had I not sat down and relaxed and forced myself to sit there for 10 or 15 minutes. I would have walked right into that bird, busted him, and never had a shot at him. But because I forced myself to sit down and take a breath, regather my thoughts and all that, I was able to harvest a bird that day, and a really great longbeard here in Indiana. Tennessee Deer Stalker Outdoors, what's up? Yeah, Coffee, that's the best part. That's what makes it so much different than deer hunting too, is as soon as they wake up on the roost, they start firing off, and it's incredible. Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about the gobble. My dad, he's sitting in the other room here, and he's the first person I went turkey hunting with. And Jeff's mom, hi Mom, you're out with the goats right now. What are you doing? My mom, she's a deer slayer, guys. She didn't get one this year, of course, but love you, Mom. Yeah, it's just an awesome experience, Migratory game, you got to get into it, man. You do it, and I'll go duck hunting. I got my boy. What's up? You're done with YouTube? Uh-oh. You want to eat a banana? Okay, hold on. You can't be crazy just because the camera's on. Yeah, Bubby. What's what? My water bottle? Oh, my papers? This is something Daddy wrote when he was bored and had time. All right. So this is about traveling out of state. My last example was here locally for me. But number 5, you can never have too many supplies in your vehicle. For me, to save money, I typically sleep in my car. It's pretty uncomfortable. No, you don't. You don't have a car, silly bear. Shh. Let Daddy talk, okay? Yeah, Bubby. You want a banana? Can it wait 1 minute? 2 minutes? 3. All right, it'll have to. No. Don't go duck hunting. You'll forget about all other hunting. I don't know. I don't know, migratory game. Okay, Bassmaster, what's up? All right, here. You go take your YouTube. Sorry, guys. Here, hit the button. I'll be done in just a minute. Okay, I love you. I'll get you a banana in a minute, okay? Cool. Sorry, guys. Here, take one. I'll be done in just a minute. Go see Papa. All right, sorry about that. No good in my banana. I don't think we have bananas. Do we have bananas? Okay. Okay. All right, I might have to go get this kid a banana. Thanks, Toma. Who's your hunter? What is going on? All right. Number 5, you can never have too many supplies. So imagine you're several hundred miles from home, 700 in my case. 700 to 800 miles is a typical range for me. I hunt the center part of the United States. I've hunted turkeys in South Dakota, like I said, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. I love those 4 states right there. And so the cool thing about out west is it's a lot more remote than here it is kind of in the Midwest. For example, Oklahoma, I can't even tell you how close the nearest store was. Nebraska, even. I mean, it is so remote out there. It would take 30 minutes from where I was hunting, at least 30 minutes to find, any life other than, mine and the animals. We were so far out there. I took two guys who had never hunted out of state, and they're not on YouTube, and they don't have an account to watch or anything. I wish they did so that they could stop in, but I have those videos on my channel. And you can never have too many supplies. Imagine you're that far away from, an hour and a half away from the nearest Walmart, maybe 2 hours from the nearest hunting store or anything like that. You're out there, you don't have food, you don't have enough shotgun shells. I've been guilty of that almost. I took 2 boxes on this last trip. I bought 2 boxes, and by the time I got home, I think I had 4 shells left. So I had 4 shells left out of 2 whole boxes, and I nearly ran out. I think I had some backup loads that I wasn't really wanting to use, but things like that, things you might not think about: shampoo, deodorant, stuff like that. If you can live with yourself smelling, I can to an extent, but I take a jug of water, a big, like a 5-gallon jug of water, shampoo, towels, deodorant, stuff like that, just to kind of take care of myself while I'm living in my car and on the road. Plenty of food, plenty of water, because once you're out there, you're kind of stuck unless you want to do a lot of driving that you shouldn't have to do anyways. Bug spray, definitely recommend bug spray if you hunt anywhere in the summer where it's warm. Number 6, you guys just need to know the hunting regulations. If you plan on doing any hunting in a state that is not your own, you better learn the regulations, because DNR patrols public land access. I saw DNR in Oklahoma, and just this year it was just Oklahoma. But the year prior, I ran into DNR in Kansas and South Dakota when I had gone in 2018. So you do not want to be doing anything you should not be doing. You want to make sure you have all the necessary tags. Yeah, coffee, it is. It's really cool. It's and I didn't talk about this. It's a part of this little article thing that I wrote, and I will post this entire thing in the comments section, but I won't do that for a day or two. But the first time I hunted out of state was 2013. I went to Kansas with the great Eddie Salter, the Turkey Man, and it was an awesome experience. Let me just say that. That's what started my addiction with traveling. I only get 2 weeks of vacation a year. I spend over a week of it traveling to hunt turkeys. I need to be better about reading these comments. Coffee, you're thawing out your coyotes to put up tomorrow. Yep, bugs in the spring are rough. Tennessee deer stalker used to hunt out of, what did it say? Used to sleep and hunt out of your truck. Yeah, a cot. I'm with you there. I have a SUV, and it's not a full-size SUV. It's one of those kind of crossover SUVs, and it's crowded. I stack all my gear on one side of the truck. The entire front seat is full of food and probably my hunting clothes and all the gear that I plan on wearing on the hunt. I keep in the front seats, and I keep one little spot to myself, and I stack up blankets and sleeping bags, and it's a tight fit, but we make do. Coffee, I think John and I stopped by work one night and talked to you. Is that right? Yeah, okay, you just said it. Yeah, I think that was when John and I went to Kansas the first time. That was a fun trip. We had a good time. That time we were in my truck, so I a Chevy 1500, just a '04. I still have it, but I think we slept in the front seat as we were driving just to catch some Z's while we were traveling. All right, know the hunting regulations, guys. If you plan on doing any out-of-state hunting, I promise you it is not worth losing your right to hunt. Because if you get caught out of state, that's going to affect you in other states too. It's not just strictly to that state, that you can be in trouble in your own state for those violations. That's really all I have. I really just kind of summarized the entire thing that I have written out here. You guys have any questions? And like I said, I'm not an expert. I feel like I'm pretty good at killing turkeys. I killed 7 last year. 2018, I got 6. Year before that, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe. Been hunting out of state. This will be year 7 in a row. Migratory game, you hate driving. Imagine being cooped up in your car for about 38 hours. My first trip to South Dakota, I had reached, where was I? Goodness, I don't even remember. I think I was somewhere like Murdo. You guys probably aren't familiar. Murdo, South Dakota, it was like right off I-90, and it was like dead center of South Dakota. Imagine this screen being South Dakota. Murdo is like right here, right where my chin is, basically. And I was like 2.5, 3 hours away from where I was going to be hunting. I got caught in a blizzard. They shut down the highways whenever there's a blizzard for good reason. And I was cooped up at a gas station for 24 hours, plus it was a 19-hour drive. So, yeah, it was 30 plus hours that I was on the road. What size shells do I use? I use number 3, or I'm sorry, I use 3-inch loads because my current turkey gun only can handle the 3-inch. But years past, I would use 3.5s. When I was running my 1187, my Remington, I would use a 3.5-inch and then the heavy shot Magnum blend. They're pretty expensive to shoot. They might have been like about $6 or $7 per shot. So I kind of got away from those. Now I'm using 3-inch number 5s and number 6 Longbeard XR made by Winchester. Coffee, who are you talking about? Eddie Salter being a great turkey caller and hunter. Oh, me. Well, thanks. You're making me blush, man. I wouldn't say I'm a great caller. I'm okay. I do okay with my calling. I feel like where I thrive is woodsmanship. And that's something my dad is. He's one of the smartest hunters I know. And I'm not just saying that because he can hear me. This guy walks into the woods, and if he's after something, it's dying. He knows where to go, he knows where to be, and when to be there. And I feel like I get quite a bit of that from him. Knowing when to move, where to move, and how to move is very important. Excuse me. The woodsmanship will kill you more birds than calling will. I don't care where you're hunting, what state you're hunting in. You're going to come across birds that don't want to talk. They're cooped up with their girlfriends, and they're not going to let go for a stranger that's 200 yards away up a hill. So woodsmanship will definitely kill you more birds than being a good caller will. But I appreciate the compliment. But I'd say I'm a decent caller. I'm pretty good, but I that's something I work at. I work at a lot, and mostly during my drives to and from work. You know, I drive an hour and a half round trip. I spend a lot of time playing a diaphragm call. Down here, okay, Bassmaster, where are you at in Oklahoma? Or are you in Oklahoma? I don't know if okay means like okay or okay as in Oklahoma. Yeah, diaphragms aren't for everybody, John. It took me a long time to get good at it. Slate call. Can't go wrong with slate call. 10 Keller. I'm having a hard time seeing this. Tahlequah. Okay, Bassmaster. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Western Oklahoma. I'm not sure where that is. Mangum. I think the closest like town was Mangum. Excuse me. There was nothing out there where I was at. And when I traveled up north a couple hours, I can't even remember the name of that town, actually. It was so small. Yeah, slate and box calls. I don't use box calls a whole lot. That's what my dad uses mostly as a box call. And I just honestly I feel like it's too loud for my liking. I can't control the volume like I want to with a box call. With a slate call or a diaphragm, I can control the pitch. I can control the exactly how loud I want it to be. Yeah. Yeah, you can't have too many slate calls, in my opinion. You're in eastern Oklahoma, okay? Yeah, I'm south of the. I was hunting south of the Panhandle, Bassmaster. Yeah, I was literally in the farthest southwestmost tip of Oklahoma is where I started. Whatever county that was, I can't remember. I have it written down somewhere. But I really like slate calls uh, for the simple fact that I feel like I can control that call much better than I can a box call. South of I-44. Spent some time at Fort Sill in Oklahoma. I think that's what it says, Fort Sill. The font's really small in the live chat, and I'm kind of having a hard time seeing it for some reason. Who's your hunter? How long were you out there? Oklahoma's a beautiful state. I'm different than most people. Whenever I travel, I prefer to be somewhere where there's nobody. A lot of people, especially my age, in their late 20s, they want to go to beaches and islands and stuff like that. I don't care about beaches, don't care about the ocean. I like to be in the plains. 6 months there. That's cool, man. Thank you for your service. Lawton, Southwest. Okay, yeah, I drove through Oklahoma City. Ain't no problem. As we have 10 people in here, that's amazing. Thank each and every one of you guys for being here. That's awesome. My camo choice when I'm turkey hunting, Mossy Oak Obsession. Mossy Oak Obsession. I like Bottomland, but I don't have any Bottomland gear. It's hard to find around here. Seems like all they sell is Real Tree Extra and Mossy Oak obsession, and what's the other one? Breakup. You have got bald eagles there. That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. Okay. I think I saw him. If I remember right, I saw a bald eagle in Kansas on my way to Kansas the first time I went. Actually, I saw one here in Indiana, and I think we saw one in Kansas. You guys, anybody in here turkey hunt? You guys prefer decoys? You have a preference on brand or style? Personally, I run just the cheap foam ones you can buy at Walmart, or I also have the Avian X decoys that I'm going to be giving away once we hit 500 subs. The reason I'm giving them away is I don't use them. With as big as they are and as much as I travel and limited space I have, the foam ones seem to do the job. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the birds that I killed in Oklahoma were off foam decoys. Yeah, you hardly use a decoy. Decoys certainly have their place. Don't get me wrong. I prefer to use a decoy if I'm hunting off of a field edge, because if a bird is, let's say it's 100 yards across the field, he hears calling from, kind of that wood line, there's a good chance that he might not come in if he doesn't see another bird there. Now, if you're 15 or 20 yards inside of the wood line and you're calling to a bird, across the field, he may come to you trying to come in the woods and check it out, but never hunted turkey in your life. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm on Instagram, Fox Hill Outdoors, and Facebook, Jeff Bonnewell. I'm always happy to talk turkeys with anybody who wants to. Big John, you have some cheap foam ones? You killed your first turkey with boot leather. What do you mean by that, Big John? Is that an Oklahoma Bassmaster? The Winding Stair Mountains? Oh, I got you, Big John. Had me confused. I didn't know what he meant. I don't know how much longer we're going to roll with this. I'm happy to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I like doing these live streams. It's completely different than making a video and then just posting it. Doing this, it feels really weird staring at my little webcam on my laptop here, but I really enjoy it. I like being able to read what you guys are talking about in real time. True Grit. Okay. 20 minutes south. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that, Bassmaster. Thank you. Yeah, coffee. Yeah, that's the reason why I got into trapping, really, was to try and help my turkeys out. Speaking of turkeys, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before that, I saw definitely over 30 birds on some neighboring properties. So that's very promising. I haven't been seeing too many turkeys around here in several months. So Yeah, yeah, migratory. It is definitely easier when you have somebody responding back in chat. Bassmaster 7P on Instagram. Okay, I think that's 8 o'clock here in just a few minutes, right? 8 o'clock our time. I think you guys are 1 hour behind. Yeah, coffee. I haven't been seeing any birds. I don't remember seeing too many birds even during the summertime. There's one property in particular. Whenever I'm coming home from work, almost always see a flock of at least a dozen birds, almost daily, and have not been seeing them. And I saw them actually the other day, which made me happy. And then a property just a couple hundred yards to the north of here, I saw more than 20, probably close to 30 birds out there in that field. Passion for hunting and fishing. Hello. Welcome to the live. Sorry you missed all the talking points, but if I missed you guys in chat, I'm sorry. I got busy talking and stopped looking earlier. I definitely encourage anybody who's interested in turkey hunting, just go for it. You can find cheap calls anywhere you want. You can find them at Walmart for a couple bucks. You can find slate calls for 10, 15 bucks at Walmart, box calls 10 to 20 bucks. And all you need is you can literally go buy one slate call, practice with it a little bit, condition it, have a gun that shoots true, and you can go out and potentially kill a bird. I missed somebody here. All right, Big John, have a good night, man. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it, man. I am parched from talking. Hopefully this live stream was a lot better for anybody who saw my first live stream. My son was a little wild, and he was really excited about seeing himself on the camera. Anybody who's done a live knows what I'm talking about. You get to see yourself as you're recording. It's a different experience, but he definitely was really excited about it. Passion for hunting and fishing. Where are you located, if you don't mind me asking? Tennessee Deerstalker. Yes, we do have a fall and a spring season. I do not fall turkey hunt. It's just a different experience. It's more like deer hunting at that point. You sit, you wait. They will do a little calling. The hens will yelp. They'll do some, like, I don't know what they want to call them, like a flock type yelp. It's a little different, but the birds they don't respond to calls too often. So I don't fall turkey hunt. I could, but migratory game was talking about, if you start duck hunting, you won't want to do anything else. And I feel the same way about spring turkey hunting. Yeah, coffee. Exactly. Oh, you're in Canada. Okay. Ontario. You guys do have some turkeys up there. I can't remember what they call it. It might be called the World Slam whenever you kill a bird in the entire United States and Canada and Mexico. So for anybody who doesn't know, I have completed one Grand Slam. And this spring, if I'm fortunate enough to harvest two Osceola turkeys in Florida, I will have had my second and third Grand Slam. But hunting in Florida is a little different. Not a whole lot of, there is public land, but it's really hard to get into. There's thousands of people who go. It's just really, really tough. If I go to Florida, it's because a guy at work, actually, he has a family member who has a ranch down there. He calls it a ranch. I don't know if it's not a high fence, but he calls it a ranch. I think it's just like a farm. But yeah, Tennessee, man, Tennessee deerstalker, you guys can kill 4 turkeys there. I I think it was my second year of traveling out of state to turkey hunt. I went to Tennessee, and that was before I started doing all my game planning and creating an itinerary and doing my own scouting. I went with a friend. He had a property that he had hunted before, public land, and we did not see anything. We were there 3 days, hiked dozens of miles, and eventually I just moved on. We moved on to another public land property, and I saw one bird in an entire week. It was absolutely horrible. If I go back to Tennessee, it's because I'm going to be doing the scouting. I'm going to feel confident in where I'm going. But that time I was just following somebody else's lead. You didn't say migratory game. You said you didn't say that. Migratory game. You didn't say that. If I started duck hunting, I wouldn't want to do anything else. Is that what you said? Oh, okay. Okay, my bad, migratory game. I thought it was you. Yeah, yeah, I got to hunt with Eddie Salter, and that was a pretty cool experience. Seemed like a good guy. I feel like I kill a lot of turkeys, but that year that I went to Kansas for the first time, he killed 14 birds that year, and he was only halfway through his season, which is incredible. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is nuts. Yeah, the thing about Tennessee and where I was hunting, I was in East Tennessee hunting Big South Fork. And anybody who's familiar with Big South Fork knows that it is isolated. There is nothing out there. Yeah, I think that drive, it took us like 45 minutes to go wherever we were hunting. It took us like 45 minutes to find the nearest gas station. Very, very remote, no phone signal. It's a cool place, but it's more of a hiking spot, and people go there to ride horses and stuff like that, trail horses. I wasn't very happy when we got there because I wasn't confident in the spot at all. Yeah, crazy tough hunting for sure. Coffee, you have trouble getting the toms to commit and come in. Yep, I've been there, buddy. Jake Ramsey, what's up, man? I was just giving people my tips and basically my strategy for hunting public land out of state. Yeah, Tennessee deerstalker. I found I think there was one patch of land down there in a river bottom where there was tons of wild hog sign, but we never actually saw any hogs. Passion for hunting and fishing. You're working on a wolf, coyote, and deer head. Nice. Do you do taxidermy or do you do like European mounts? Yeah, Jake, you missed the main conversation, bud. But Yeah, I just gave what my keys to success have been for hunting out of state. And as I told the group before, I'm not trying to brag or boast or, talk myself up, but I've had quite a bit of success hunting out of state. Last year, I killed 7 birds, and every single one of them were out of state. I didn't even get one in my home my home state. I got shut out. But I took a brand new hunter last year, and he got his first ever turkey, which was really cool to share that with somebody new. I really enjoyed doing that. Oh, Jake, you do reloads. That's cool, man. This year, Jake, or last year? This year, I went against my own plans. I don't have anything set in stone. And that's because I got some big personal stuff going on in my life, and I can't really fully commit to a plan until I know what's going on with that. I talked about it a tiny bit in Big John's stream last night. Yeah, Coffee, you talking about Kyprios, his turkey kill? Yeah, he slapped that head. It was awesome. I watched that. I watched the kill shot probably hundreds of times on slow motion, just watching that head get knocked back. It was pretty cool. Passion for hunting and fishing. That's awesome. That's really cool. Tennessee deer stalker. Are you near Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge area? I went on vacation there, and then Coffee actually went like the week after me. He's a copycat. He went and he got to go film a black bear. Migratory game. You're from? Yeah, yeah, Coffee. That watching that head get slapped was pretty cool. Eventually, I'll probably take that clip and put it in like a compilation of turkey shots, headshots. Yes, Bubby. Yeah, I got some cubs on film when I was in Tennessee. You want to watch T Rexes? Come here and show the people that you have a banana now. He got his banana, guys. Here, I'll get it for you. I'm about done, buddy. I promise. Then I'll come play with you, okay? Love you. Here, take it with you. Take it with you. Where am I hunting this year, Jake? As of right now, the only plan that is set in stone is hunting here in the wonderful state of Indiana. I might be going to Florida, waiting on my coworker to get a definite answer from his uncle who owns some property down there. And if he gets to go ahead, which I think we probably will, I will be going to Florida to try and get my second and third Grand Slam completed. Yeah, yeah, he said about time. He got his banana finally. 4-minute video check. You just passion for the hunting you posted 4 minutes ago. Is that what you're saying? Nice black bear. Yeah, Coffee got awesome footage. If you guys haven't seen Coffee Outdoors, his footage of the black bear, that was a good, really good close encounter. Yeah, Banana Boy, he's gone. Townsend side of the mountain. Okay, I'm not super familiar. I've been to Gatlinburg a handful of times. I used to travel to oh gosh, I can't even think of the name of the town in eastern Tennessee for work. Can't even think of it. It's right next to North Carolina line. That doesn't tell you anything. South of Johnson City. I can't remember. Can't remember what it was called. Greenville. Greenville, Tennessee. We have a plant there, and I'd go through like 3 times a year out there and do a little work and some training. Passion for hunting and fishing. Yes, kids are the best. My son is the best part of my life. You know, it changed my life drastically. I used to work with coffee, and after my son was born, I wanted to move on to something a little different. And you know, he's literally the best part of my life. Oh wow, we've been in here 1 hour. You guys have been faithful. We have 13 people in here. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all the support. Really cool, guys. 20 minutes east of Gatlinburg. Yeah, that would definitely be easier for us that are not locals. Okay, Bassmaster, thanks, man. I will check out that video you told me about. Appreciate it. You're going live on Instagram. I will check it out as soon as I'm done here, buddy. Migratory game. You got 2 little girls, 6 and 3. That's awesome. Can't walk outside without them. Yep. My son is 3. He's definitely a farm boy. He's an outdoor kid. He went out on the trap line with me several times, and he seems to really enjoy the outdoors. And he always talks about hunting, and he loves eating meat. He's a meat eater. Passion for hunting and fishing. Your son just got his hunting license. That is awesome. Does Canada require a hunting class? Here in Indiana, you have to have a hunter ID card. I think most states you have to have one nowadays. You got the grandbabies now, Tennessee. That's awesome. Passion, if you don't mind me asking, how old's your son? I am out of water. Bring you on 1,000. Oh yeah, yeah. Passion for hunting and fishing. Trying to get to 1,000 subs. That'd be awesome. I don't want to monetize my channel. I may, years down the road, if I get to a good number of subs, but I don't want 1,000 subscribers to monetize my channel. I honestly, I want 1,000. That's just my goal. I want to be able to live stream from my phone if I'm afield, out of state, wherever I am. Because when I'm hunting out of state, I'm nowhere near any sort of Wi-Fi connection. So it'd be physically impossible for me to do any type of live stream when I'm on the road. And yes, Coffee, thank you for mentioning it. I am doing a giveaway on my channel. April 16th, if we hit 500 subs, giving away 3 Avian X decoys, a lookout hen, a feeder hen, and a 3/4 strut Jake. It's a very good value. It's a couple $100 worth of decoys. And if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll also be giving away an Alps Outdoors Grand Slam turkey hunting vest. The vest is awesome. It has a kickstand. You can literally sit anywhere. If you find a good bush that you want to sit in, there's no good trees, you pop that kickstand out and you can sit there and lean up against it. Your son's 13, Passion. That's awesome. That is awesome. It's a good age. I was 14 when I killed my first deer and my first turkey. I hunted for a few years before that, I believe, and was not successful. But my first deer was a really good one, a really good 8-point buck. I got him mounted, actually. Okay, Passion. Yeah, you guys need a hunting class. That's good. You know, taking the hunting class, I think it's very important. Teaches kids hunting safety and ethics and all that good stuff. Jake, you got two boys. That's fun. A 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. Man, that's a fun household. Tennessee Deerstalker, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks. You guys have a good weekend. All right, we'll wrap this up. If you guys have any other questions, I'll sit here for another minute or two and answer them. Oh, Schwein's mounted Cody's first buck, or his nice 8-point. You said, sorry, misread that. When did he do that? Was that back when he and I were living together up there? Okay, buddy. I'm saying bye to them right now. You want to sit with me? Oh, I know it. Say it again. I don't think they heard you. Hi, Daddy. Am I the best daddy ever? You are. I know. What's on YouTube? YouTube is we're done. We're gonna be done watching YouTube because you and I are gonna play. I don't want to play. Okay, yeah. So that was a little while back. John actually he mounted my first deer ever. He used the cape off of. Hey, I'm finishing up. Okay. He used the cape off of a different deer. I don't remember whose deer it was, but he used the cape and he took my old antlers and he mounted it. He did pretty good considering it was one of his first. 8 o'clock. It is almost bedtime. Now, what do we say at the end of a video? Do you remember? Bye. No. Thank you for subbing. Thank you for subbing. Thumbs up. Yep. Yeah, Jake, AV&X they are great decoys. And Dave Smith decoys are great decoys too. They're very, very similar. And I said earlier in the stream, I know you came in a little late. The reason why I'm giving those away is when I'm traveling and I'm on the road, I need the extra space for other things. I love the AV&X decoys, but they'd be better suited for somebody who's going to sit down and do more hunting that style. I'm more aggressive. Hey, I need you to quiet down, buddy. I'm saying bye, okay? But passion for hunting and fishing. Good night. Thank you so much for joining the stream and, messaging and commenting. That's great. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you stopped in too, Migratory Game. Appreciate it. Who's Rocco? Is Rocco Migratory Game or Passion for Hunting? Some of you guys are new. I'm new to your channels as well, so I don't know your guys' names yet, but Passion is Rocco. Okay. Passion for hunting and fishing. My name's Jeff. If you didn't catch that, it's nice to meet you. Cool. Thanks, guys. All right. One last thing. My first live stream I did, for whatever reason, all of the comments were being deleted by YouTube. Don't know why that is. So if you guys commented post stream on the first live stream and I didn't respond to you, it's simply because I didn't get a chance to. So yeah, I'm going to check out anybody in here that I'm not subbed to. I think I'm subbed to everybody, but I'm not sure. So, all right, guys, hope you all have a great night and a great weekend. I got my dog and my son in here crashing the end of the stream. Say bye, everybody. Bye. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good one. Bye.